Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, you might notice a little bit of a different background here. Please excuse the background for the time being. I'm trying to get this little room set up. This is actually where I do a lot of my packaging for shipping out. I also do some drying rack back there in the corner for some of my whiskey smokers and other various things that I do mineral oil on. I set them in there to dry. I am working on it to hopefully make it kind of a little studio. I don't know if I'd go that far, but just a place where I can record where it's quiet. I struggle sometimes out in the shop with the air conditioner and the dehumidifier, and quite frankly, cars going down the road with audio and sound sometimes. So this is going to be just a really quick DIY project video, hopefully with a little bit of instructions that can help you out if you want to build this yourself. We do sell these if you're interested, but they're pretty simple to make. You can definitely make it yourself in just 30 minutes to a couple hours, depending on your skill level and what tools you have. Very basic tools to make this a little child-sized picnic table. Basically, all you need is a miter saw. Well, you don't even really need a miter saw. You could make these cuts with just a regular circular saw, drawing out your angles. But a drill, some screws, a sander, and that's pretty much it. And of course, any kind of finish or paint you might want on them. These are made out of raw material, so you will want to paint them. But Matthew Peach has a very, very similar product that he did a video on. He's got some plans over there. If you want to go check them out, I'm definitely not going to make any plans. You can probably just get your plans off the top of your head by what I say in the video, but it's super simple. But I'll leave a link to his plans in the description if you want to go check it out, if you are the kind of person who likes to have plans right in front of you while you're working. So okay, well, look for more to come. We do have these t-shirts coming out. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can buy these on my website, hopefully here pretty soon. Pretty cheap in several different colors. Every dollar goes back into the channel and helping us out doing videos and everything. So, all right, let's get to the build. Okay, first thing we're going to do, well, first let me tell you, you're going to need a 2x4x10 and 3 2x6x8s to do this project. Little tip here in the beginning, make sure you cut your longest pieces first. Your first cuts are going to be at 34.5 inches to get your benches and your tabletop pieces. Make sure you save that little end piece there. You're going to need it here in just a few minutes for another part. You want to set your angle when you're looking to do your legs at 38 degrees. That's going to give you the right angle for the right height at this size. I take a little stop block here. You can do it however you want. And I pull this up because your legs are going to be 18 inches long. And that's going to be angle to angle. So I just put a little stop block there, and I just make my first cut here at the very end of the board, and then just simply slide it down because these cuts are going to be going from the same direction. So opposite directions on the cuts, but you won't have to flip the board over. So you just move it right up to your stop block or whatever mark you have, and then you just continually make your cuts. You're going to need a total of 4 of these, and like I said, they will be 18 inches long from angle to angle. This is that board I told you to save a few minutes ago, kind of the offcut, because to do this out of 3 pieces of wood, you actually have to save that offcut because you're going to cut your final leg piece out of that. Then you're going to move your saw to 22 degrees. This is going to be the angle for your little stretchers that go across the frame to hold your bench seat on. And with this one, you will have to switch after every cut, meaning you'll have to flip the board over and then you continuously cut. Now here I'm doing something a little different. I don't have the room to cut a 10-foot piece that short to trim off the edge. So basically what I had to do was I went an inch longer and cut my angle. That way I can just flip it over, and when I make my cut on this end, it will be right. And then I will just continue with the board from there, flipping it over and getting my pieces. You're going to need 2 of these longer at 34.5 angle to angle, outside angle to outside angle. And then you're going to need 2 smaller ones that will be your top portion that will be 16 inches outside angle to outside angle. Remember, just make it a habit to cut your longer ones first. And again, here you see I flip these over and then move up to my stop block. And basically the easiest way to line this up is, like, I have a straight edge here, obviously a level just clamped to my workbench. It's going to give me a base to set my legs so they come together perfectly and set flat. I pre-drilled the top. You technically don't have to. It just makes it easier, in my opinion, for the screw to go in. I don't pre-drill all the way through both of them, just the top one, just to give me a good starting point. And when you put these on, you want the top to come out about 2.5 inches, and then the bottom one is going to come out 5.5 inches, because you're going to have to obviously be able to fit your board, your seats on here, and you want a little bit of an overhang so that angle doesn't protrude out. And that's basically what it looks like. Super simple. Here we're going to do the other side. Got to do one just like the other. Checking my measurements there. Of course, this thing doesn't have to be dead on perfect. I do get a little OCD about some things, as you'll see when I go to put the tabletop on and using a setup block. But that's pretty much it. Just rinse and repeat. Do the exact same thing to that side, and you've got both of them. I will say, if I had this to do over again and going forward when I make these, I'm actually going to set me up a little clamp or something, because I didn't put it on video because it was very annoying, but they kept falling to one side or the other on me because I was having a hard time holding them up. So I am going to get a clamp to make that a little bit easier next time when I do these. Same thing here. You're going to want about a 2.5 inch overhang on each end. And you should have slight, maybe a 1/16 of an inch overhang on the outside where the angle's cut on that bottom piece. A couple of screws. Be careful whenever you're screwing the benches on. You don't want to go all the way to the edge on the outside of that bench, because you'll actually come through that angle. Remember, we cut that angle on the bottom piece. The top pieces here, same thing. You want the same overhang on each side. I put the 2 outside pieces on first so that they are flush, or just slightly like a 32nd over on the outside. And then here I am with the setup block. But really, you just need to split the difference with that center piece and just put it in the middle, and don't stress over it being 3/16 of an inch like I was. And then basically I'm just going to come back and sand everything down. Of course, sand the stamp off and everything. You want to round over all these edges. You can do it with a round over if you've got a little palm router, or like me, I simply just break the edges with a sander. You don't want any kids getting splinters or cutting themselves. And I try to go over the whole thing and break all the edges. I'm not going to paint this one. I typically sell them unpainted or unstained. That way anybody can do whatever they want. I may offer in the future the option to paint or to stain them, maybe for an additional cost. But it's a great little project, and had a lot of fun building it. Didn't take long. Took me about 40 minutes. So turned out good. Okay, I hope you got some information out of that. If you're looking to make one of these yourself and you were able to follow along and take some notes. If not, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to Matthew Peach's plans. They are very, very similar, probably nearly spot on with what I was doing. This is a pretty simple design. So go on over there and pick up some plans if you need them, or just take what was in this video. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, look forward to our giveaway at 500 subscribers. In case you didn't see that video, I will link to a video here of where I announced what we were giving away. I'm pretty excited with a new partnership with the people who are donating the tool to giveaway. Go check that video out, and we'll see you in the next video.